Hey, what's up everybody? I'm KB Kwan from Taste of Asian Food. Welcome back to this channel. Today, I'm not going to start with a recipe, but start by making a sauce, Kam Heong Sauce. And you know, last week I put up a post in social media and asked my viewers about whether you all like me to make a series of sauces, and the result is quite positive. And so in this video, I will start off the first one by making a famous Malaysian Chinese sauce called Kam Heong Sauce. The Kam Heong Sauce is primarily made by a few ingredients. The main ingredient is dry shrimp, and this is definitely used by a lot of Chinese and Malay cooking, and curry leaves, authentically Malaysian and Indian cooking, and of course we need chilies, all right, and a little bit of a Malaysian curry powder. The taste is pretty similar, a little bit closer to the XO sauce that you might know about, as because they are all used dry seafood. XO sauce use dry scallop, but in this Kam Heong sauce, we're gonna use the dry shrimp instead. Let me quickly go through the ingredients again and how to make it. So first we have the dry shrimp. Soak it until it is rehydrated and soft, drain it, and then we're gonna use some oil to saute the onions, chopped onion, chopped garlic, chili, and this is the curry leaf. We're gonna saute all this and then put back the dry shrimp into it. Add the curry powder, saute for a little while, and then season it with some soy sauce, light soy sauce, dark soy sauce, and a little bit of oyster sauce. Put a bit of water to cook it for a little while until it is dry up, and that's it. So this is a dry shrimp. I get it from the market, and I already put it in water, clean it nicely, and then soak it for about 15 minutes until it is softened. Let's drain away the water now. Okay. Next, I need to rough chop the dry shrimp and also cut all other ingredients into small pieces. How to make Kam Heong sauce is quite flexible. There are different formulas. There are some recipes added with lemongrass, some also added with kaffir lime leaves and so on. It's very flexible. I'll just stick to whatever formula that is working for me when it is well accepted by my customer in the restaurant. And I also like to remove the seeds because I do not want it to be too spicy. What you can do is just roll it a little bit like that, cut off the tip, and then just roll it again. The seed will come out naturally. And then cut the chili into thin slices. Please adjust the spiciness to the level that you want. I use a lot of chili today, I know that. So understand that it may not be easy to get at certain places, but if you can get curry leaf, please include into the recipe because it's quite important. This is a fresh one. I just remove the leaves and put it into the bowl. Lastly, I also rough chop the dry shrimp because it is a little bit big. I use a lot of dry shrimp today. I really like the flavor. You can always adjust it. If you want to use a little bit less, yeah, sure, you can do that. Heat some oil in a pan to saute the onion. Followed by the garlic. Next, the chili, and also the curry leaves, and dry shrimp. Now add some oil halfway, it is not enough. When everything turns aromatic, then now we can lower down the heat and add the seasoning ingredients. This is curry powder, the Malaysian curry powder, and oyster sauce, about 4 tablespoons, light soy sauce, about 4 tablespoons, and sugar, and lastly dark soy sauce. Mix all this together, and it's quite dry, so I add some water to cook it down. Now the color start to change due to the presence of the curry powder, which is reddish, and the sauces that is dark brown. I'm gonna add a little bit more water and cook it for a short while. You realize that I do not add any salt. This is because the light soy sauce contains salt and the dry shrimp is salty. And I prefer to adjust the saltiness when I start to cook any dishes later on. Now the color and the texture of the sauce is slowly changed to what Kam Heong sauce is supposed to be. Let's keep it aside and let it cool down, and we want to transfer it to a small container and put it into the refrigerator, and part of it I'll then put it into the freezer for future use. Okay, this is the Kam Heong sauce that I have made about 20 minutes ago. Now it is already cooled down, and I have made a big batch. So what I'm going to do is put it into a small container of such, which is freezer friendly. And if you put it into the freezer, you can keep it for at least 1 month. I've tried 2 months, it's still good and fresh. The taste hasn't been changed at all. And if you just want to keep it into the refrigerator, just keep it for about 2 to 3 days. So I'm going to keep a few of this in the freezer and some in the refrigerator for tomorrow's use. And meanwhile, I'll use the remaining to make some Kam Heong Lala. Because we already make the Kam Heong sauce, that make this recipe quite straightforward and easy. What you need is just to add the sauce into the wok or a large skillet and make it fragrant. You may need to add just a little bit water, and if you probably may need to add a little bit of oil if necessary. Get your lala ready, and I need a little bit more sauce, so I will add a little bit of water into it. So how much Kam Heong sauce and how much water really depends on your requirement. If you want more sauce, you can add more water. If you would like to have more intense Kam Heong flavor, just add additional Kam Heong sauce. There's no hard and fast rule. I prefer to add a little bit more of the Kam Heong sauce. And also add just a little bit extra water. And a little bit of salt. And my personal preference, just to add a little bit more of the curry leaves. And there you go, that is our Kam Heong Lala. That's how to make Kam Heong sauce and my Kam Heong Lala. And you have noticed that I've made a little bit extra of the Kam Heong sauce simply because this sauce is so versatile. I can use it for many other dishes. In the following video, I will show you how to use this Kam Heong sauce to make some other dishes. For example, even vegetarian dish, or even you can use it for meat, etc. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.